Hello and welcome. You're watching FII. I'm Sonal Mehrotra Kapoor. Now, every year in October, the world comes together to mark the Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So on FII, we thought, let's do our bit. How much do we actually know about breast cancer? One of the most common forms, remember, of cancer in India. Now, there are millions of breast cancer survivors across the globe, and while more and more women are becoming aware of cancer, on the program today, let's explain to you some important facts when it comes to breast cancer. From importance of self-examination to second opinions, treatment options, everything in our explainer. But let me, right at the onset, share some good news with you straight away. Well, the survival rate of breast cancer continues to show a positive uptrend. There is better treatment, early detection now. So just take a deep breath and keep watching. Let's start with the basics here. What exactly is breast cancer? Now, breast cancer is a type of cancer that starts in the breast. It starts when cells begin to grow out of control. That's basically cancer. Breast cancer cells usually form a tumor that can often be seen in an X-ray or felt as a lump. It often also occurs almost entirely in women, but men can also get breast cancer. It's important to understand that most breast lumps are benign and not exactly cancerous, as they say, but non-cancerous breast tumors are also abnormal growths, but they do not spread outside the breast. They are not said to be life-threatening, but some types of even benign breast lumps can increase a woman's risk of getting breast cancer in the future. Any lump, that is why, that changes or if you feel any sort of change in your breast, you need to get it checked by a healthcare professional to determine if it is benign or not and if it might affect you in the future. Having understood the basics, let's move to the statistics next. Now, breast cancer accounts for 14% of cancers in Indian women. We're looking at it from a women lens now. And for every 2 women newly diagnosed with breast cancer, 1 woman dies of it in India. This is a statistic that can be changed if only we do diagnosis early, and that's why we need to be aware about it. Almost 50% of all cases are in the age group of 25 to 50 years of age. Survival rate of breast cancer in India, they are low because detection takes place very late, like I said. And the more advanced the stage, the lesser chances of survival really, and that goes for all kinds of cancers. So the thing for you to know is, are you at risk? Listen in carefully, all right? Women are more likely to develop breast cancer. The risk for breast cancer increases as you age, like I said. If there's a family history, you are at risk. There are genetic factors, inheriting certain rare gene mutations from parents, most common being the BRCA1 and 2 gene. We'll talk about that in detail as well. And having your first period at a younger age, that is before 12, or attaining menopause at an older age. Both these things will increase your risk of getting breast cancer. Also, if you have a past history, of course, in the family or for yourself on any other kind of cancer, you are at risk. But this BRCA gene that is being so talked about, BRCA1 and BRCA2 mutations occur more frequently in younger women. Having these mutation and mutated genes does not mean that you will get cancer. It is said that this increases your chance of getting cancer. It more often affects both the breasts, increased risk for developing ovarian cancers as well if you have this gene. And so what you need to do is get a genetic test done, available to really look at what exactly is the mutation like and if you have it or no, and then let your doctor take a call. So signs that you need to watch out for. One is getting yourself tested. We'll talk about different tests available as well. But these signs, very important. Common symptom for breast cancer is a new mass or a lump in your breast. Any change in the breast or the nipple appearance, unexplained change in the shape or size of the breast, unexplained shrinkage of the breast suddenly, unexplained swelling as well, especially on one side only. Tippling or wearing on the breast anywhere, sunken or inverted nipple, or redness or scaling of the skin of the breast, nipple or in the area, uneven areas of the pores or the skin that resemble an orange peel, as it's been used as a general reference there, and clear or bloody discharge other than breast milk if you're getting that, swelling or a lymph node gland in the armpits or around the collarbone as well, often gets missed out but is a sign, an early sign of cancer, breast cancer being one of them. Now, there are tests available, of course. So if you're in the risk category, if you're watching out for symptoms, this is what your doctor will most probably end up prescribing you. Now, clinical breast examination recommended for all people, by the way. All women after age of 30 are recommended to get that. A breast self-examination, what exactly is that? There are loads of videos available online that you must check up and you must do regularly as well. You should also have a clear knowledge of how your breast actually looks normally. Only then will you be able to tell if there is a difference that is emerging in the shape and size, etc. Also, seek medical advice promptly if any change in breast is noticed. Some of them we talked about. Now, lots of tests are out there in the market for you to see whether or not you have cancer or breast cancer, but there is now a very interesting blood test available for the first time. Indian biotech startup actually has reported an early cancer detection breakthrough, where a detection can be done from a simple blood test really. And the technique was able to identify 25 different kinds of cancer. This is said to be a real breakthrough in the world. Now, the technique was able to detect cancer before the onset of the tumor itself. So really early stage, which couldn't be better news. The test is actually known as HRC and has been co-developed by a Mumbai-based biotechnology firm as well. And a Singapore-based lab is now producing those kits. One needs to do the HRC test once a year to actually know the entire detail. And then, having understood all of that, what can you do to prevent it? Very important bits. Prevention better than cure always. Maintain an ideal body weight. Exercise regularly. Quit smoking if you haven't already. Any excessive alcohol consumption as well. And there are breastfeeding your baby that also actually avoids cancer. But don't take too much pressure on yourself if you think you're not being able to do it. And also avoid unnecessary radiation exposure. All right, so that's the basics when it comes to breast cancer. It is the Breast Cancer Awareness Month, the pink month, as they say. No prizes for guessing why I'm wearing this color. And also, let's, on that note, welcome our panel now. Joining us on the program today, we've got Dr. Manvita Mahajan. She is a chief of gynecology at Artemis Hospital. Thank you so much for your time, ma'am. Dr. Radhamani is with us from the Amrita Hospital in Kochi. Dr. Neeti Raizada is with us from the Fortis Hospital, and Dr. Vinita Goyal from Fortis Hospital, again from Shalimar Bagh. Can I begin with Dr. Goyal there? Dr. Goyal, I just shared some basics over here, but when it comes to young women, and really awareness is the key over here, right? What more is it that one can do to ensure that you're detecting it at an early stage?
So you have already put all the points very clearly. What is required is the awareness. That is the key factor, and that is why months like October are celebrated as pink months, so that people remain aware about this breast cancer. It is also very important to remain aware about the tools which are available or the tests which are available for a quick checkup in case somebody picks up any abnormal finding. Being aware about the breast, doing the breast self-examination regularly, and reaching out to doctors in case any abnormality is detected. Doctor, could you share some of these
tests with our viewers as well that one can get done without being exposed to too much radiation?
So, breast cancer can have a lot of variable presentation. So I would say that in case some women detects a lump or a thickening or change in shape or size of the breast or nipple, etc., then you must consult a doctor to identify the correct test rather than doing the test yourself. The tests that generally the doctor is going to order would include an ultrasound of the breast or mammogram or sometimes a combination. And if the suspicion is high, then they might order a biopsy test if required. But because they can be a very variable presentation, in different age groups, different tests are required. It is best to consult an oncologist or a breast surgeon, before doing the test yourself.
All right. Let me take the next question to Dr. Neeti Raizada here. Dr. Raizada, women, especially who've had a family history, they need to be better prepared when it comes to cancer or breast cancer, really. What is your advice to women like that?
So, Sonal, first I want to compliment on a very comprehensive summary which you gave initially. Let me say that, hereditary cancer is a very important component of cancer. And we have to understand that breast cancer is treatable even in advanced stages and curable in all the early stages. And breast cancer is also the cancer with precancerous lesions. And if you have a family history or there's a possibility of hereditary cancer, when is that the case? When you have immediate family members who have cancer. It could be your siblings, it could be your parents, or it could be your child. That is one high degree of suspicion when you should go to an oncologist, get your history screened, and then if the oncologist feels, then they will offer a test. Before that, they normally will have a pre-test counseling in which they'll tell you that if I have a test, do I have solutions for that test? And if I have solutions, then normally we will do a blood test, or if there's an affected member, then on the tumor tissue, we run a NGS panel, and then we see whether there's a hereditary risk or not. Now, why is it important? Yeah. First thing is, if actually you have a hereditary cancer risk, then there are some risk reduction strategies that can be done. Now, that risk reduction strategies could either be surgery, or it could be some chemoprophylaxis, or regular screening. These are the three things that can be offered. If a patient actually has cancer and has hereditary genes, then those people can be offered separate or different treatment, which makes them have better results as compared to the person who does not have those hereditary genes. So there is advantage on the current patient who has hereditary genes, or a person who has a family member who has cancer, and currently you are found to have certain genes which could inherit cancer in yourself.
All right, good to know that. Let me bring in Dr. Radhamani at this point. Dr. Radhamani, cancer or breast cancer awareness, or just knowing what your normal breasts are like and then knowing if there is a abnormality over there. With young women, I feel a lot of this awareness is missing. As a gynecologist, is it perhaps a time where we start educating mothers about how to ensure that they know best and then they can pass it on to their daughters as well?
Yeah, good evening. This is the fourth most commonest cancer related death is due to carcinoma of the breast. So as far as a gynecologist or obstetrician the instance where we get is that when a girl comes with the pregnancy, when we take the history and our examination, we will find out whether the breast is normal in size, and also our aim is to look for the retracted nipple, but in addition to that, we need to look for any palpable lump is there, whether any retraction nipple is there, any color changes are there, as we already said, any lymph nodes also is there. And this is the time when we take the history, we will find out whether any family history of malignancy, especially when a girl comes with any gynec complaints. Gynec complaints like in the adolescent age group, in the reproductive, perimenopausal, and menopausal age group, because there are risk factors like early menarche and late menopause, because after the age of 55, not attain menopause, and early menarche means below the age of 11 years, and also the first pregnancy at the more after the age of 35. And on examination, again, there is the history of oral contraceptive pill was taken more than 5 years also is a risk factor. So we need to identify, in addition to the family history, whether like risk factors are there. If so, then we give awareness to the patient.
Did I hear you correct? Doc, you're saying that anybody who's taking contraceptive for more than 5 years also increases the risk?
There is a risk, but on discontinuation of the treatment, the risk also reduces. And so that is the reason why we should not give more than 5 years or 10 years, even though it has got a beneficial effect other than the contraceptive effect.
Right, because every second woman you know these days has PCOD, and the eventual treatment is taking these contraceptives. So this is like a cycle.
Yeah, cyclically, and then it should not live more than 5 years. 5 years. And then coming again on examination, the breast tissue, dense breast tissue is also not a good sign. And then again, a history of radiation within the less than the age of 30 for some other reason. These are all risk factors. So what is our job is actually we have to give awareness about the consultation with the breast cancer at a clinic, so that they will get appropriate treatment direction and then treatment. And another important factor, we are also seeing pregnancy with the breast malignancy, breast cancer and pregnancy. Yeah, so that when the patient comes with the pregnancy in the first 3 months, we can give an option of termination of pregnancy and have the treatment. Whereas if the patient is coming in the 5th month and afterwards, second trimester and third trimester, what we give is, we give after a core biopsy and the tissue biopsy, we treat the woman with the chemotherapy, and then the surgery at the time of, if the fetal and cesarean section is at the time of cesarean also, we can do this breast surgery along with the breast cancer surgeon, and then afterwards chemo radiation. So so that is the reason why a pregnant woman, when comes with a history of breast family history, we have to definitely look for a breast lump, and then guidance and also awareness, and so that we can direct for the appropriate diagnosis and treatment.
I see. Let me take the next question to Dr. Mahajan here. Dr. Mahajan, in your experience of looking at women younger and older, is there a trend that you're watching when it comes to breast cancer in India? I mean, every year we try to talk about, in fact, UAE, for example, is running these discounts on this pink month. There is a pink sale. There is so much going around when it comes to awareness of breast cancer. I'm just trying to see if it's actually percolating down to awareness with women.
Certainly in urban areas, this is happening. The hospitals are offering well-woman checks. And in women more than 40 years, definitely breast-related issues are addressed. Appropriate investigations are offered. We also conduct sessions wherein we go and meet women in their workplace from our hospital, and we talk about breast cancer and how to recognize and how to report, what symptoms must be reported at the earliest. These sessions are also carried out in their workplace. So there is an awareness now, at least in the urban population, the people who come and visit us in the hospitals. We are finding younger girls coming and reporting breast-related issues, like if they have discharge from the nipples or if they have pain in an area of the breast and they've observed it for a while and the pain is either increasing or remaining the same, not subsiding, then they're coming and reporting. People who are known to have high risk factors like, multiple family members with breast cancer and all, they've already seen the trauma of it. They are already worried about it and they report at the earliest. But the others are also coming forward, and that is a good sign. And when women come and talk to us, as the doctor said previously, we do the clinical breast examination for all women reporting to us in the gynecology clinics. And we do provide them some basic information about what symptoms and what signs they should report. And also some tips are given as to the breast self-examination and all. So all hospitals are now incorporating the health checks. And in women more than 40 years of age, mammography and timely, the frequency varies, but information is given to them. And when they opt for it, these are done for them.
All right. So that's good information to have. It's a good time to take a break, actually. When we come back, I want to see cancer, breast cancer, compared to other forms of cancer. How exactly is it is different in its symptoms, treatment, etc. And also, we've got a viewer question coming in about optical mammography. We'll take that with our panel. So stay tuned. You're watching FII. Welcome back. It's Pink October and FII is doing our bit to ensure that we spread awareness about breast cancer. Let me go back to Dr. Mahajan now at this point. Dr. Mahajan, breast cancer compared to other cancers, how do you think that really fares out here?
It's one of the commoner cancers in women, one of the commonest actually. Again, the cancers in women are generally seen in older women. So the same way the breast cancer also, age incidence rises from age 40 onwards. Less than 40 also we are seeing breast cancer, though the majority are still in 40 plus. Again, the diagnostic modalities have improved over a period of time. More and more women are getting screened for it and getting diagnosed at an earlier stage.
But when you talk about screening, what sort of screening is actually required? I know Dr. Goyal talked about how it's going to be different for different women, depending on what exactly your symptoms are. But could Dr. Goyal, if you could sort of shed some more light on that, please.
See, the screening program, the same...
Ma'am, it's for Dr. Vinita Goyal, please.
So the basic screening tests which are required for any lump or any abnormality in the breast would include the radiological imaging. The most commonly ordered investigation is ultrasound of the breast. We reserve mammogram for women who are above the age of 40 years. We also sometimes order MRI of the breast, which is called as problem-solving tool, which means if you're not able to clearly see tumor or abnormality on ultrasound or mammogram, then probably one would ask for a MRI of the breast.
Right. And talking
So
about
these are common tests.
Right. And talking about mammograms here, Dr. Raizada, if you could take this question that a viewer has also sent about these optical mammograms as seen as a good way of diagnosis.
Optical mammogram is one of the emerging techniques of doing. See, mammogram is a regular mammogram, could be a regularly obtained mammogram, it could be digitized mammogram, or it could be a digital mammogram. This is what we commonly use in clinical practice.
Okay.
However, when we are talking about optical mammogram, it is a way of acquiring images by infrared technology or red diode technology, in which you'd see the thermal patterns and plot certain curves or graphs, and based on that, a high-risk lump is delineated, whether it is actually high risk and it turns out to be malignancy, or it is high risk, but on further confirmation did not turn out to be malignancy.
Right.
It is still a technique which is studied a lot, but we don't commonly use in practice. The sensitivity of this technique is about 80%, but specificity still remains low. We have been working hard around it, but at this juncture, we don't commonly use this technique.
Right. I have last 30 seconds, but Dr. Raizada, if you could talk about this new blood test that has come out and if you've seen any positive results when it comes to breast cancer.
So again, I would say that most of the tests which we use should be validated and it should be approved by a governing body. In India, it is DCGI, or in abroad, it is an FDA or an EMA. So at this juncture, there is some way before we can say, well, this is used in clinical practice. But what it sees is circulating tumor cells. CTC is what it sees, or cell-free DNA or circulating tumor DNA. And at this juncture, yes, it is a very promising kind of a diagnostic investigation. But before we start using it in clinical practice, there's still some more time.
All right, good to get that information. Thank you all for joining us with such useful information that all of us can take home, really. And I really hope all our viewers have taken a cue from that. That's it on FII today. We'll see you again tomorrow, 6:30. Bye-bye.